everybody, it is Quicken and welcome back to my channel. With the new year, I've been trying to organize and find energy for organization and energy for tidying and cleaning. And with the new year, it's really great because a lot of people are motivated to do the same things, so you can find a lot of this motivational content. I wanted to just bring you a little bit of organization motivation as well. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some low energy hacks or suggestions for jumpstarting and organizing your home with 5-10 minute prompts or tips. Or if you follow me on Instagram, which is quietcoolkid, you may have noticed that I have been doing little things to tidy my home that generally take about 10 minutes, and it is not like a huge overhaul of cleaning a space like you may be more familiar with my straightening up my living room and other things like that I clean in my home for 3-day periods or 1-month periods. And not to say that that content doesn't exist and won't continue to exist, but in between, I'm trying to be better at just doing some low energy things around my house. Sometimes a big cleaning job can be super daunting, so I'll put it off for days and weeks and then it gets much worse, and it also contributes to stress. If you follow me on Instagram, you may notice that recently I just reorganized a shelf, or I cleaned above my fridge, or I organized my spice rack. All of these are different things that take about 10 minutes, and afterwards there is a nice sense of accomplishment and calm. And today I wanted to share with you 10-minute organization little trips that we will be taking around my house. Obviously, I do not know what to call them. 5 things I will be organizing in my house for 10 minutes to just get me energized, even though I feel low energy today. 10 minutes, it's super easy, and I feel like I will experience a lot of clarity after organizing these things, so I'm super excited. So the first thing I did to get in the mood or whatever is I got dressed. You may notice in a lot of my videos I am wearing something crazy, and usually I'm wearing sweats or a shirt. And because of that, I feel like I am almost like in the best place to be organizing or cleaning because I'm wearing like a sweatshirt and sweatpants or like pajama bottoms. But when I get ready to clean, or at least I am prepared, I feel a little bit better. Like I can put on an apron if I'm worried about damaging my clothes, but today I put on something, although comfortable, it's not what I wore to bed, so I feel like I am getting ready to clean, and with that, I feel like I'm doing something more responsible, or I'm doing something that was hard. When I prepare to get something done that is difficult or hard or something I view as a chore, if I can do it with integrity, I feel like I'll be more likely to do it again, or at least respect the work that I have done. I'm not wearing any makeup and my eyebrows are this big, but I did put on something that I feel comfortable in. Next, we are going to figure out 5 things that can easily be decluttered or organized in under 10 minutes, but will have impact. Organizing and tidying up can stimulate feelings of joy or adrenaline, and after you clean these things, you might feel encouraged to keep going. But after you clean them, you'll also be more encouraged to keep them organized in the future. Now, I am a beginner. I have read everything Marie Kondo has ever made and watched all of her TV shows. However, I am still a beginner, and I wouldn't consider myself very organized or practicing any minimalism. I am definitely a organization hobbyist. So I'm saying these things from my experience as a beginner and not making any concrete suggestions for you in the way of advice, but more along the lines of, this is what works for me all of a sudden. Number 1, organize one drawer. I picked one drawer in my house that is kind of unkempt and untidy, and it's kind of crazy and has utensils everywhere, and the liner is like all scrunched up, and it's been a standoff between me and my boyfriend, like who's gonna fix the liner in it. And it's been like 3 months, so I guess it's me. So quickly organizing this drawer in my kitchen, I feel like is an easy task, but it will get me motivated to keep going to do a harder task. I know this is extra, but this is crumpling all up because it is wrinkled, and I'm going to iron it. Okay, that was most of my 10 minutes, but I think solved a pretty big problem, which is when this gets all bunched up, it looks very much more cluttered in here. So the only bin I have in my house right now without buying anything new is this small one, but I'm going to make it work. Here is the finished drawer in just 10 minutes. This is a lot more peaceful, a lot less chaotic. I do have a lot of doubles and even triples of some things, but they do come in handy when I'm making like Thanksgiving dinner and stuff like that. So I will keep those instead of minimizing those quite yet, like having 2 different sets of measuring cups can be a little extreme, I suppose, but for now, I don't want to go through too much stress of decluttering to donate, but I did eliminate this cat food lid that is for like an extra can so you can save it in your fridge. It's good to have, but I don't need it. And then these are some mason jars that I think I lost along the way. I do not know where they are, so I'll say goodbye to these. Next, I'm organizing. I have fridge or freezer. So I've been putting off my fridge. It is a crazy place. And you may remember I organized my fridge last year, help me, with a lot of purpose and dedicated a ton of time to it. But recently I've really let it go. I believe there are still like leftovers in there from Christmas, like very severe, same standoff. Who's gonna take the Tupperware out? Today it'll be me, but I'm just going to do it for 10 minutes. That way it'll look nicer, feel more tidy, but I won't feel too overwhelmed, and it will at least start me off to a nicer path, and it will free up some of my dishes and Tupperwares that have been in there. Some easy things to get off right from the jump is any leftovers or like fast food leftovers. According to at least my training in food safety, food that is prepared is only good for about 6 days after its preparation day. So if you're holding on to something and it's been in there for over 2 weeks, it's gone bad. And preparation means the second the whole food became cooked or processed or chopped. I would say holding on to leftovers for about 4 days is the safest, because for example, if you got some fried tofu takeout, they may have prepared that tofu the day before. So that takes a day off of that 6-day grace period anyway that you wouldn't really be aware of. That makes this easy for me because I have a lot of fried tofu in here. This is my little thorn. This is the like leftover meal that made me not even want to look in my fridge because I knew I had to get rid of it. So getting this out of my fridge is really just going to change everything, and all of the like half-eaten tofus that I abandoned. Once I clean all these out, I'll feel a lot less stressed out every time I open my fridge. Plus, since it's something I access every day, visually it will have a big impact on my everyday life, versus cleaning off a shelf is just nice and like pleasant and visually cool, but not necessarily something that puts a huge impact on my life. Now that everything is better organized, I can see everything I have to work with. Nothing is going to go bad in the meantime. I have these pierogies that are now up front, so I know I can make them for dinner tonight and I don't have to search through everything. And then I know that everything is fresh and ready and all of the things that are expired are gone and they're not creating clutter. I think that we believe that a full fridge equals like health and wealth, but really having a fridge where you can see everything creates much less waste, because I didn't know about some of those leftovers in there or some tofu that had really hung out for way too long. So I'm pretty excited about this. Finally, that will get us hopefully in the mood to do something more difficult, but something I've needed to do for years, and it's my underwear drawer. Yes, I thought about not putting this on YouTube, but at this point in the video, after we have cleaned out my dirty fridge, I think it's safe to put this out there now. I think the pervs have left the building. My underwear drawer, maybe you can agree, it like has oddly become sentimental to me. It's your first layer, and it's so intimate and private that it's kind of something that only you can interact with. I don't think I can think of a single memory of my mom helping me organize my underwear drawer. I think from the second you're in underwear, it becomes your responsibility. Your parents are like, thank God it's time. Here you go. Leave me alone. I think I threw out my first bra in high school, so that's how long I was attached to that thing, and I know I had it held together with a paper clip. I know that for a fact. It was from the Gap, Baby Gap. Organizing my underwear drawer is actually something I like fantasize about because it is so overrun. I wish I had 2 separate drawers or even 3 drawers, like a sock drawer, underwear, and bra, but that's kind of not something that I can personally do right now. I have a lot of graphic t-shirts and they all need their own drawer. So for now, I want to create a space that is just more organized. Clothing is very difficult to organize, and I almost did not include it in this list, but it is easier to organize because most of the time you can't donate it. So we'll continue on this list to things that you can take to a donation center, but if you're just organizing your underwear drawer and you want to do something quick before work to kind of stimulate your mind or something to ease your mind at night, underwear unfortunately kind of has to just go in the trash if it is something you've been holding on to but you no longer wear or have much use for. You know what I mean? It could be more daunting to add a bunch of stuff that needs to go to the donation center or something you might try and sell secondhand. Underwear kind of just has to go, and that's why, although it's clothing which is difficult, easy in a sense that unfortunately it just kind of has to go. So for organizing underwear, it does kind of come down to what sparks joy. If it's underwear that has been with you for a long time and you can remember the mischief you guys got into together, it's gonna be tough to let it go. For me, I accumulate a lot of clothes because in my life right now I live somewhere with a washer and dryer, but throughout my whole life that has not been the majority of places I've lived, so I have a lot of clothing. So back here I have my black tights. It seems like I could edit more of these down, but some of them are varying textures and fits and opacities, so I have about 6 pairs of tights and that feels okay for me right now. Winter socks in this like nub back here, underwear, socks that are ankle, and then socks that are no-show. I have like stuffed in this side little crack here. And then I did have to put my bras back up here, but I made space for them a while ago, so I think that's okay. I have a lot of bralettes that I would like to edit more down, and then strapless bras are right here. But organizing your underwear drawer, something that I think you can tackle. I say to my own reflection, please. This feels awful. So tidying up my entryway. Just giving myself 10 minutes to tidy up my entryway makes such a visual difference that I feel like it's just easier for me to sit down and not see how crazy it is. My entryway constantly needs an overhaul because whatever anyone is bringing into the house ends up there. If it's a street sign or some headphones or some junk mail, new pair of shoes, everything kind of ends up in the entryway and it gets kind of cluttered. I did recently try to edit the things that I had in my entryway, and I constantly keep doing this, but for this 10-minute exercise, just straightening up my entryway, hanging up the jacket, smoothing everything out, getting the shoes in a nice orderly way. I have a junk box in my entryway that really needs to be addressed. There's a lot of weird things in there, mostly cream blushes. Ignoring the junk box as of right now and just straightening up my entryway, keys in the right place, junk mail thrown away, peace. Honey. Whee! My final 10-minute cleanup is my linen closet. So I keep my linens also in my normal clothing closet in my bedroom. But the thing about my linen closet and almost all of the guest bedding in my home is realistically, we do not host a lot of guests. I recently got off the phone with my brother the other day and asked him to move in with me. He's definitely gonna say no. But because of that, I get excited that my brothers might stay or that our friends might stay, but I really have to edit my linen closet. Unfortunately, this would be a situation where you would have to go to a donation center, but you can put these things aside and wait until you do more organization through your house or a bigger overhaul. Like, I must edit my closet. However, I have a ton of linens from my apartment or that were like not great quality, falling apart, ones I don't really use anymore that might not fit my bed. I have a ton of these extra guest linens, and editing them down I feel like will be so much better. I tend to strip my bed, wash that bedding, and put it right back on my bed, so I do not need a lot of these extras. And I think because I have so many options, I'm just like, well, I'll just go back to these. I think if I had 4 sheet sets, you know, fitted, top sheet, pillowcase, I believe that's more than I need. And I feel like I have a lot. I also have this nice blanket that I believe my neighbor gave to us as a housewarming gift, but it sheds a lot of feathers. It's a really nice high quality blanket that I think somebody can really love. But for us, not only do we have 5 comforters in our house, which is way too many, like I said, my brother does not come over. We hold on to this because it was given to us as a gift and it's viewed as high quality because it is like a down blanket. For me, I'm going to ask my neighbor if she would like it back because she is getting a 3rd story put on her home, so now she has a guest room. It might be nice to give it back to her. And if not, donate it to my community because it is a nice blanket. Just tough because there is a lot of emotional value and it can be awkward to ask her if she wants it back. But she's pretty chill and from Philly, so she'll tell me how it is. Editing down my linen can take about 10 minutes because I know what doesn't fit on my bed and what I don't use. Just that hurdle of going to either the thrift store or having a difficult conversation or letting go of something I'm emotionally attached to is tough. But after these 5 things that I have dedicated 10 minutes to each, I have organized for 1 hour. And that is something I can get excited about. I'm still feeling low energy and I still feel like I'm not in the mood to put on my Jersey Shore sweatpants and pull out the vacuum and everything like that. But this is a lot easier and low impact. And afterwards I can feel stimulated because visually I can see my work in the fridge, in the drawer, in the entryway, and I can feel proud of it. The more I organize, the more I hope to be in touch with the items and the objects at my house and understand the inventory and the flow of the things that enter and exit my home, and just feel more at home with the spaces that I curate or tidy up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I know that content like this feel a little odd on my channel, but becoming more organized and harmonious with just the things in my life is always the goal. I recently rewatched an old video of mine that somebody did a little video essay on, and I said, yeah? Hey! And I was reintroduced to those goals that I had mentioned in that video. And I thought that I was in a good place and I would love to keep striving. And having an organized home, like, it's nice to live without that stress. Old Tupperware in the fridge, different things like that stressing me out. If I can eliminate that stress, then it doesn't exist. I know that seems simple, but actually putting it into practice is the hard part for me. Cleaning is like a bad thing. You know, we do it at our jobs and it's tedious, or we do it once a month at our home and it's hard. We hold on to objects because we might need them or because our neighbor gave them to him, so they're special. Doing this is hard. So congratulate yourself if you took the time to do this 10-minute exercise with me. If you like videos like this, let me know. I am growing and trying to understand these things, and I'm not perfect and I might fail, and literally I'm doing something very easy today. But let me know if you are organizing your home as well. Videos like these really motivate me, so I'm excited to make them and share them with you. Anyway, I love you guys so much and good luck.